Good morning. I wanted to make this video today to talk a little bit about my experience with birth control and the things that came up in my life, results of the birth control, and also like mental processes that were a part of my experience, and physical symptoms. And I had the birth control implant in my arm for about 3 years, maybe 3.5 years, almost 4 years. I have a little scar here from when they took it out, and I got it out about almost a month ago now. So I want to start by saying like the reason why I got it, and it was because I was sexually active. I had a boyfriend at the time, and I was really scared of getting pregnant. I was also about 16 years old when I got it, so now I'm 20. So I was pretty young. I got it when I was about 16 and a half, and it's just kind of crazy to me to think that I was so young, and to me it was kind of just like a no-brainer. I was like, of course I'm gonna get this. I'm having sex, because I was like having sex for the first time as a young adult, and I was like, I'm not trying to get pregnant. And I was also like, I'm not responsible enough to use condoms and practice safe sex that will result in me not getting pregnant. So the one thing that I look back at and I think about is just the fact that like I didn't feel like I was responsible enough, which is kind of sad. But like thinking of it now, I guess it's just a lesson that I learned in my life that I needed to learn for whatever reason, and that like lesson is like kind of like holding enough value for myself and my body and respect for my body's natural processes that I could trust myself and somebody else, but mostly myself, to protect my body from like the effects of an unwanted pregnancy, or basically an unwanted pregnancy, because I wasn't having sex with multiple partners. Not that that makes a difference, because birth control doesn't stop STDs, but just the fact that I felt helpless and out of control of my body. There's a coyote that just passed in front of the window. It's so beautiful. And that is like something that I can kind of take into different places in my life and think like, you think you don't have control or you don't have the strength to protect yourself from certain things in your life, but that's just not true. You can choose to be responsible, like you're not helpless to this situation, and you are strong. And if, in my case, like the benefits of the birth control in the end do not justify the physical and mental effects that it causes on your body, your body's processes, and the world that you experience, basically. So, and for the next 3 years, I almost got it out like halfway through. So like 1.5 years, 2 years later, broke up with my boyfriend, and I thought like, I don't need to keep this birth control. I'm not having sex anymore, and I just want to get it out because I felt like I was having like emotional difficulties. I was depressed. I think that was like my first real experience with depression, and it was just like such a difficult relationship to navigate in my life that I thought all of these emotions, all of these actions that I am having, and all of these troubles in my life must be caused by the birth control. But then I kind of decided not to, because I thought, actually, I want to have sex with other people. And that's again where my thought process came in, like, oh, it's better than getting pregnant, and I can't really be responsible, or at least I don't want to try and be responsible and give myself enough respect to put in the effort to be like conscious of my decisions, basically. So I kept it in, and then I ended up being like pretty sexually active. And then actually in my relationship that I was in, had like we had sex a lot. And I would say that, of course, there's like so many different factors to like certain behaviors that you have and experiences that you have in a relationship. But I think like a lot of the sex, like I didn't really start to enjoy it at one point, because it was like my body can like has no reaction to a sperm going into my body. Like I won't get pregnant. So I can have sex as constantly as I want, and there's no negative consequences, and there's also no consciousness behind the fact that I could get pregnant, because I can't get pregnant. Like there's like 1% chance or something, like a really small chance. And so like sex just becomes kind of like, it could be like a compulsion, basically, like when there's no effects, kind of like the people that like eat sugar and they don't get fat, like they don't even care, so they just keep doing it and like hurting their body, kind of. That was kind of like an interesting analogy. But so yeah, the sex was, then I kind of had like felt like low sex drive, I feel like, and I don't really know, because I'm still kind of like cycling through my hormones and leveling out, I hope, or like I feel like, I don't hope, but in a way I hope, because I still find myself like this, and it's hard for me to believe like that is my hormones at a regular level, because I don't have my period back or anything yet, so I can't imagine that my hormones are level yet. But I think a lot of like, maybe like just so many effects from birth control that can come from your hormones being unregulated. Like you can feel so much more anxious. Like it really, from these videos that I've watched online, from like hormone experts and stuff, that birth control can like change who you are, basically, because your brain chemistry is basically being changed by the different hormones that are being manipulated in your system. And like hormones may just seem like one thing, like it's just a part of your reproductive system, but it's a part of your whole being and your whole well-being as well. And that's something that I really didn't know or understand when I was younger. And I think a lot of people my age, and a lot of people in general, don't really understand the significance of affecting and basically manipulating and hijacking your body's natural systems and the negative effects that can come from that, which makes sense, because we're not educated on it at all unless you really go out there and try and look for yourself. Just the fact that these things have, like birth control in particular, has a lot of like health risks, basically, is like, it's obvious, but it's like not really considered, I would say. Like it's just like, oh, you're sexually active, you need birth control. So the past 2 months, I think the last 2 months, I was traveling and I was living abroad, and I was living by myself, and there was a point that I started becoming super depressed. I got like more depressed than I've ever been in my life. I felt really bad about myself, super unmotivated, super like locked into this little world of pain basically, and anxiety, and I was kind of like, okay, I don't know if this is just me or if this is a birth control, and I was just so tired all the time, and that's not something new, but it was kind of like a breaking point that maybe I was in this situation that all of these things started to come together and kind of like manifest into this depression or like hard emotional reality for me. So that was kind of like a breaking point. I was like, whoa, I feel like crazy, I don't feel good, and I need to figure this out. I need to get this birth control taken out. I haven't been sexually active, and it's just like ridiculous to have these things going through your body when you're just like trying to go about live your life and do other things. It's like having an IV in your arm that's like, I don't know. It's just like a substance that doesn't belong in your body. So why? I didn't have any reason to have it in me. So I came home to my mom's house and I got it taken out. And I literally was having like a mental breakdown before I got it out. I kind of tried to take it out myself, which I wouldn't tell anyone to do that. But some people do it because, I mean, if you can't get like insurance or whatever, then you might feel like you want to do that. And so I got it out, but like before I got it out, I was freaking out and I was like, bruh, I just need to get this thing taken out of my arm. Like, I'm so hungry all the time, which was one of the biggest things that was like making me feel depressed earlier, when I was not living here. Before I came back to my mom's house, I was just like feeling like so many cravings, like intense cravings to eat things. And like there was just a hole in my stomach, and I would be like binge eating sometimes, like in a way that my stomach would be like so uncomfortably full, and I would still just want something to eat because it kind of felt like I was in survival mode almost, would be the best way to explain it. Like all the time I'm in survival mode, and my body just felt so heavy all the time. Like I was surfing every day, and yeah, that takes a lot of energy, but you would think like also if you don't go surfing one day then you'll feel energized, but like all the time, like without fail, I would just feel super tired. I wouldn't want to get out of bed in the morning because my body just felt like lead, and just like getting up and doing yoga was so hard. So yeah, I just felt like it was just like, okay, like I'm kind of going off the edge here. And so I was constantly just craving sugary food and isolating myself and stuff. And then I came back here, and then eventually when I got it taken out, like I don't know if this is like placebo or if this is actually what happened in like my physical body, but I guess regardless, it's kind of the same thing. I stopped having such an intense appetite. Like immediately I just felt so much better. Like I felt satisfied if I ate something. Like I didn't feel like I needed to keep eating and keep eating and keep eating, which I think I have a compulsive kind of relationship with food. So in general, this is something that I struggle with, but when I took it out finally, I could tell, like, okay, there's like a degree that it was really exacerbated because of the birth control. Like, I just felt like my body was just telling me, like, look for these foods and eat them. Even though generally I eat a healthy diet, I would be going for like super sugary food or like carbs, which is not normal for me to really like I can enjoy them, but I don't necessarily crave them because I know that they don't make my body feel good. Um, but yeah, so I stopped craving things as intensely, and then also my body like felt so much less heavy. Like every day when I was on birth control, my body felt like made of lead, kind of like just to move, just to walk around. Like I would go to the grocery store with my mom, and like when I still had the birth control in, and like I would be so tired at the end, or like even at the beginning, like to get out of the car, but then like walking around the store, like my legs just felt like you just feel like so collapsed in your body, so heavy. Like my bones were so heavy, my limbs were heavy, I was like no energy. And like my mom, I would be like, aren't you tired? Like, aren't your legs tired? And she would be like, no. And that's like really weird because I'm a young person, and like, why are my energy levels like literally so low? And for so long, like it's been like that for so long. And like a lot of the times I've thought it's just because of me, like it's just my body, and it's just like me, but it's like really healthy. Why should my body be feeling like this? So now I can feel like my body is so much lighter than before. Still, I feel at times like it's only been a month. I don't know if I am 100% to a place, like I'm not to a place that I feel 100% yet, but in a way for sure I'm heading there, and I have way higher energy levels. Every morning when I do yoga, like my body feels way more open. I was really stiff for some reason. I also had an injury which could have added to my stiffness, but in general, like it was just hard to move. And so that's a big difference that I've noticed. So also, like, about the sexual experiences that I've had on birth control, like I had sex multiple times with guys without a condom, and without even having a conversation about a condom or birth control, which as a person without birth control now, I find that super like insane. I find that like really crazy. Because like, what if I'm not on birth control? And I don't know if guys like just expect you to be straightforward about that, which of course you should be, because you have to like let them know what situation is going on with your physical reproductive system. But just the fact that they didn't even ask or like consider that. And then like, of course, STDs are so possible if you're not using a condom. So I've just found that like alarming, and like even more so now that I'm not on birth control. I'm just like, what was I thinking? And like, how could these guys just not even consider that? And then like one of them asked me afterwards, he was like, are you on birth control? Like, I just wanted to make sure. Which was like, bro, could have asked like right when we were there, because that would probably be better. But that's just like one thing that I learned for myself. Like, yeah, like you have to be like considerate of your body now more and honor and respect it, because truly it is this natural system that is magical, like life creating. And when you have birth control, you're stopping this like flow of energy, which can probably I'm sure affect you more than I can even imagine from my experience in so many ways. And like it kind of, I didn't have my period for 3 years, so it was kind of like barren, it felt like, and I thought it was really nice at first, and now that I've been off of it, I've like never wanted my period more, because the cycles that you go through as a woman, which I experienced until I was 16, so until 4 years ago, are so sacred, and it affects your whole mental state, affects your whole physical state, and it's this cycle that flows naturally, like cycles like this that our body are so in tune with. This is like the essence of life, really, to be in these cycles in all aspects, and to stop like this physical cycle of your body is super like that affects you a lot. And I don't know like what the effects really of like not dropping an egg are, but probably psychological and physical for sure. So yeah, in the end, I just like look back on my child self and think like, I wish you knew what the effects of this medicine are in your body, that you're completely altering your natural rhythm, and it's not worth it. You could say in some cases it's worth it, but I don't think it's worth it in any cases. Just don't have sex if you don't feel responsible enough, which is something, if somebody told me that when I was younger, I'd be like, the fuck, like, don't even tell me that, because I'm just gonna do what I want to do. I'm responsible because I got birth control, you know? So I guess that's like I guess this is the truth. Like, if you're at a point in your like spiritual awakening that you feel that this is a step that will really benefit your body, then that's really important to take it, because the effects are tremendous of having something like controlling your inner dialogue, and that yeah, just to be natural is the way to go. Of course, we all walk our own paths that have different things to like different phases of our lives, different experiences and lessons that we learn. But I just wanted to share my own experience and like just insight, because I was thinking about it and I wanted to share it. I feel like my experience can be beneficial to somebody else that might be in a similar position as me as well. So thank you for joining me, and hopefully that may have invoked some inner guidance for you in your own journey. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Take care.